Yo, 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 yo. Here he.
There we go. There we go.
Paper Route. Welcome back to Paper Route. I am Brandon Marshall. We have a phenomenal show excuse me. Golly, we have a phenomenal show today. Excuse me, stuttering like Stanley. We have a guest host in Miss Nikki Blades. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Are you nervous?
No.
I'm just going to pepper questions at you, then I'm going to throw you in the fire today.
You threw me in the fire yesterday, so what are you talking about?
Okay. All right. Well, you better be ready because after we get through this open, I'm throwing the show to you.
All right, let's go.
All right, you got to take us through an hour and 45 minutes. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I was built for this.
Let's go.
Brandon Flowers. Bro, like, what do you like to be called? It's like B-Flow, Flow. Like, what do your homies call you?
See, it's weird because everywhere I'm at, I got a different nickname, right? So if you call me by a nickname, I know where you know me from.
Right.
So I like to keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can just go with Flow.
We can go with Flow?
Yeah.
What about if we go up where you from? What they going to call you?
Nah, that's for the crib. That's for the crib. I'm telling you, I can't mix the two.
Right.
I need to know where you know me from when you address me from a distance. Like, hey, yo, I need to know, you know?
So look, some housekeeping things. Andrew, super producer, thank you. We kick you to the side until we get another camera, another mic. Nikki Blades is taking your spot. We have BC in the booth. BC, I don't know if your video's there, but if you can, throw it up just to give us the peace sign. How are you? What up, brother? We have Brian. We have Omara. We have a team behind us. We have Nico. We have Bianca. We are in this space right now, almost like Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club did it for 6 or 7 months. Why can't we? Breakfast Club tried out people, and that's what we want to do. We want to figure out who's going to sit with us. You know, basketball contributors, potential hosts, combat sports contributors. So Nikki Blades, we are excited to have you here. You are a superstar. The things that you've done in media the last 5 years and what you're doing personally. So welcome to the show. Thanks. I am going to go off topic before I throw you in the fire and we get into the show. Is that okay?
I mean, do I have a choice?
You have no choice.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
So really quickly, news of the day. I'm sitting here in the studio and I'm watching ESPN. I'm watching and seeing what the Shannon Sharps of the world and the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, what they're talking about, Mollies of the world. And we've talked about this over the last couple of days, and I want to just hit on it really quickly. Maybe spend 3 minutes on this. If it's a little juicy, we can spend a little longer. But this past weekend, there was a lot of players up for incentives and bonuses. We're talking about DeAndre Hopkins. He needed like 66 yards or something in a touchdown to pick up another bag. We're talking about $750,000, $1 million. Players to score one more touchdown, like Jamal Williams of the Saints. Score one more touchdown, he picks up a big bag, right? And there were so many scenarios like that. So, Brandon, I'm watching ESPN, and Shannon Sharp said this about Jamal Williams. And now, you guys out there listening and watching, if you don't know this, if you haven't kept up with this story, Jameis Winston is now in that quarterback. Derek Carr's on the bench. He's not the guy, but he's still the guy. Jamal Williams need a touchdown to pick up a big bag. That's one of those scenarios that I just talked about, okay? So the game is over. They're already blowing out the Atlanta Falcons, B, as you know. They're blowing them out. They go in victory formation. It's over. We know this as players that now let's just take a knee. Ain't nobody trying. He hands the ball off Jamal Williams. He gets the touchdown. Everybody celebrates on the side. After the game, the head coaches meet up at the 50-yard line. Arthur Smith, blank, whatever his name is, he's pissed off. He wants to fight. He doesn't, but he says what he needs to say. And then after the game, he ended up getting fired, so it's not even a big story. And Coach Dennis Allen says, look, I told him to take the knee. They went rogue, and they did that. Shannon Sharp said this, B, and I want to get your thoughts here. He said, I would have cut Jameis Winston on the spot. Ooh. Do you agree or disagree with Shannon Sharp?
So first off, I disagreed before I even knew Jamal Williams needed incentive. Like, I'm just petty. Like, if we get in a huddle and we decide to do this, like, let's go do it, right? That's how I am as a teammate. That's how I am as a player in that locker room. Like, we grind all week. Like, if we want to do this at the end of the season and go on to the off season and just feel good about ourselves, like, we down because we ain't have a good season, like, man, I'm with whatever. Like, they going to have to deal with it. But knowing that he needed that incentive, it's a no-brainer. And I don't even care if we lined up in victory formation. Like, that's on y'all. Atlanta, when we play y'all again, y'all better, like, take it to us, bro. We got to wait till next year. But us ending off this season, my dog is getting that touchdown.
Right.
And it makes it even easier. Like, yeah, I'm going to make it easy for my dog to line up in victory formation and try to steal a touchdown so he can get his incentive. Like, before I said, nah, they should line up in a regular play, let the defense get set. But for an incentive, nah, let him cheat and get his little quick TD. Like, I stamped that all day, every day.
So how often do players make that decision, though? Like, how often do you guys go, we're going to do this versus what coach is telling us to do?
It happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I was going to say, we do it all the time. All the time. It's a scenario that I talk about often where the DBs will be in the deepest meeting room. Our D coordinator will go over the schemes, and they'll say, hey, if we get this formation or this look, we checking to this. And it might be cover 0, and we'd be like, yo, y'all leaving our ass out to dry. Like, we can't cover this. Like, nah, we not running this. We don't tell that to the D coordinator, but as soon as we go on our little lunch break or our little meetings, like, outside of the meeting room together, we tell the linebacker or whoever called the play is like, bro, we are not checking this.
That's right.
If you check this, we will have problems on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, just put it on us when we come to the sideline. We'll make sure we get out of it. Don't give up a big play. But if you check to this that we don't want to run, you will have problems with us. If you check to whatever you supposed to, then you have problems with the D coordinator. Who do you want problems with? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we gonna run what we run.
And that's why this is interesting as a player. And you know, look, everybody has their own perspective, right? But as a player, it happens all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially, and it's more so comes from like the leaders on the team and those dogs, like the superstars, the dudes who's making the big money, the dudes who are making the big plays. They go rogue all the time. That's how a lot of these things are created. So the reason why I thought it was interesting and I want to just hit on it quickly is because you look at, you know, Shannon Sharp saying this, and it's like, I can guarantee that Shannon Sharp, John Elway, Rod Smith, McCaffrey, Terrell Davis, even when he was in Baltimore playing with those dogs, there were so many times where they said, nah, we need to do this. Not only in the heat of the moment in the game, but also it happens in practice. It happens in meeting rooms. Like, there's so many examples of that. Think about this. How many times have we seen a Rondo or somebody, a basketball player, bringing up the ball, a coach is trying to tell them what set to get in, what play to run, and they wave them off like, we're going here.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers look at Coach McCarthy when they were in Green Bay and like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I seen Jay Cutler. We seen Jay Cutler on Sunday Night Football flick off Mike Martz and read his lips saying, what the fuck are you calling?
This is why Deion Sanders didn't want to come to pro sports and be a head coach. He told y'all, like, I'm not coaching these grown men who's not going to listen to me because they get paid a lot of money. They got egos, and they're not going to listen to anybody. Like, Prime know how it go.
Know how it go. There was one other thing I wanted to hit, news of the day, really quickly, but we can just move on, and I can throw you in the fire. You ready to move on?
I'm ready. Yeah.
You nervous?
Brandon,
we got 100 people watching right now.
Brandon, we gotta move on. Brandon,
watching, a couple thousand people listening.
Hold on, let me listen. We got some big news. We got some big news that we need to talk about. So we're gonna start with probably the biggest storyline of the offseason. Where will Russ cook in 2024? Many believe he's done in Denver after he was benched for money-saving purposes. But Sean Payton said yesterday that no final decision has been made regarding Wilson's future. I want predictions. I want to know, where do you think Russell Wilson will play next?
Listen, I think it's important to protect your relationships and to divulge information that, you know, viewers and fans aren't privy to. Obviously, everyone, all 100 people watching and a couple thousand listening, big audience right now. You guys know that I'm a Russell Wilson fan, and that's one of my brothers, right? And so I'm just going to say it. Like, I texted him yesterday after I saw this report what Sean Payton said, and I said, bro, like, just put yourself first, whatever it is that you want, right? So, you know, Denver, they're going to play a game, and they're going to figure out what's best for them, right? They're always going to do that. Everybody want to have plan A, a plan B, plan C. So plan A for them obviously is moving on. But what happens if it folds, Nikki? What happens if it folds, B? Like if plan A is not there. Now plan B is like, well, we got Russell Wilson and we still owe him $50-something million or whatever it is. He's going to walk away. We're going to be like, he's going to hit our cap for like 80-something million and he's not playing. Whew. So let's just stay with him. But if you're Russell Wilson, do you want to go back to that type of environment? So for me, I'm like, yo, bro, like put yourself first. And if that's what you really want, you want to go back to Denver, then you do that, but you should go back on your own terms. Because you also got to realize there's teams out there, and I'm not sure because it's not the Pittsburgh Steelers' MO, but there's teams out there like the Pittsburgh Steelers that is ready for Russell Wilson. And it's a perfect fit. And then we can name a couple other contenders out there that I think would love and welcome Russell Wilson and everything that comes with them. So, you know, I think Russ needs to put himself first for the first time.
You starting out hot because you came with that tape with Pittsburgh. You right on point. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers would be a great fit just because Russ, coming from a situation like Sean Payton, right? You know, when us guys who are proven in the league go to another place, another franchise, we just want to be loved on. Yep. We just want to just not have somebody in our ear. And what place is that more than Pittsburgh? Well, Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin go sit back, let you do your thing. And Denver, Sean Payton want the ball out Russ' hands quick. Like,
and he also want to micromanage everything.
Exactly. Like, what did Tomlin do with Big Ben? You run your show. I don't care if you ad-lib, throw it down the field after 5 seconds in the pocket, running around. Like, do whatever you got to do to be successful. That's what Big Ben did. Pittsburgh got those type of receivers now who can uncover and get behind a defense like a AB and all those guys did in the past. One more team that I think would be okay. I think Pittsburgh is a perfect fit, but I think a team that doesn't have that many expectations, but have a team or pieces around that can get it done. I'm not going to New York if you think I'm going to New York.
Yeah, I know you're going to say the Giants there. That's cool.
I'm not going to New York. But I go to the Commanders. With McLaurin, Dotson at receiver. They got guys like Logan Thomas at tight end. Nobody's expecting them to win the NFC East, but if they can make some noise with a Russ at quarterback with a new head coach that'll let him just do his thing, like he has the pieces around that can get it done in the NFC East that can make a little noise, but it won't.
Well, hold on. Let's not, like, bro, you saying make a little noise or no one's expecting them, but this is a division, and you know we beat this point up all year, but no one's won this division back to back in 20-something years. Right, so we thought the Eagles were going to do it. They collapsed second half of the year, and now the Dallas Cowboys, they won it, right? So can they beat the New York Giants? Think about Brian Daboll's first year in this division. Yeah, they made the playoffs, right? Didn't the Giants make the playoffs his first year? Yeah. Right, and they had and then they folded this year. So, like, why couldn't the Commanders be there? Because to your point, offensively they got pieces. Now, defensively, you trade Sweat and you trade.
Yeah, you got to get better.
You know, you trade your two top defensive ends. So, what are you going to do there? But are they far off?
They're not far off, but you're not expecting them to be competing for that division, are you? Like,
yes.
No, you're not expecting the Commanders.
Yes. Okay, all right, let's break it down real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are they? Are they going to dominate next year?
You can't say they're going to dominate, but you expect them to be a solid football team. Okay, you expect them to be a playoff team.
Okay, all right, perfect. The New York Giants, they're 6-11. Are they going to win the division next year?
No, they're not winning the division.
So the Dallas Cowboys, BC, I wish you had your mic. Say it, BC. I know you can't hear it. Can you get your mic? Can they hear what you say about the Dallas Cowboys? You can't
trust the Cowboys.
He said you can't trust the Cowboys.
You can trust them to make the playoffs next year, though.
Yeah, but when you talk about compete, I can see, you know, and we're really agreeing for real. Yeah, I can see Russell Wilson going there and 10-win, 11-win season and potentially win his division.
I don't see him winning the division, but I see them sneaking in the playoffs at a wild card. That's where he need to go. If you go to Pittsburgh, they're expecting you to play for a title. Pittsburgh just made the playoff this year with, 3 different quarterbacks? They're expecting you to make noise in Pittsburgh. He don't need to go somewhere where they have that much expectation. Fly under the radar a little bit. Whatever you do, they just go look at it like, damn, Russ brought the Commanders to the playoffs and they making noise?
Listen,
let's go.
So the question was, what is Russ cooked? Where would he cook? No, the question is,
where is he going to be next season?
Right, and so I disagree with your last point, B. I don't think he needs to go. He can afford to go somewhere where he can fly under the radar. This is one of those guys at the tail end of his career, right, where it's either you're successful or you're not. right? Like if he doesn't get it right or be in a situation where he can thrive, then now he turns into a journeyman. Now we're talking about he can't be a backup. There's no way like Russell Wilson's going to right. So it's like you got to go in a situation where you are contending and you're playing at a high level.
So that would be.
To me, at number one is Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
So number one is this, and it'd be hard. No, actually number one is the Denver Broncos, but it's like marriage counseling.
Okay, they got to work through. It's like
we really got to have a conversation. Y'all really tried me.
It's too much that's going on.
But it can happen though because I like Cortland. I like Coach Payton if he's your guy. But there needs to be some real straightening there. So that's number one for me. Number two, which should be number one, really is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and 3 is the New York Football Giants. If I just had to close my eyes and push them into a city, it would be Pittsburgh.
Okay, and you agree?
I'll go Pittsburgh number 1. I would say definitely not Denver because the relationship with Sean Payton. You don't know if they're going to bring Judy back.
So you don't believe in marriage counseling?
You don't know.
That's not what it's
that's
about.
Why I'm not married. So
that's why I'm not married.
Yeah, obviously I don't believe in it. And Cortland Sutton, like you don't know if they're going to keep it. Like what are they going to do with them? You don't know who they're going to. They got too many things they have to do cap-wise with the Denver Broncos to trust them. Going with that Sean Payton whole yelling at him on the sideline, benching him, and like it's too much. Move on. So Pittsburgh to be perfect, and then I'll say the Commanders next.
Okay. Speaking of moving on, it is time to move on to the Bay. Let's get into this. Draymond is back from his indefinite suspension after he had that incident in early December. Draymond said yesterday that he is confident that he could dump the antics and continue to play his game the way he needs to play. But people are questioning, can he really do it? And I'm going to say this, I am biased. I am a Draymond fan. I have known him for a long time, and I truly believe that he can. I believe that Draymond can go out there and play his game, and that's what he does every time he goes out there. Is he extra? Yes. But I think that this time around, he really knows that he has to act right. His team needs him. We have been struggling out there without him, and he needs to act right in order for us to win. And I say us, the Warriors, the Bay. He knows what he needs to do to perform and to get the wins.
I disagree with you.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna put you in this position.
Okay.
Right. So, you picked up golf when? How long ago?
A year and a half ago.
So you pick up golf a year and a half ago. Everybody's approach is different. Tiger Woods brought like an intensity to golf that almost was counterculture to what golf was.
Right.
People really didn't understand that, even the fist pump in all of the faces. And so everybody has their own personalities, different approaches. So you picked up golf a year ago. When you're out there, how do you play?
Aggressive.
If I played around with you, okay, how is it?
I play aggressive.
Walk us through it.
For a lot of golfers, they play, it depends on how they do course management. They're thinking about their shots. For me, because I'm just starting, I'm aggressive. I'm going to go long. I'm swinging my driver. I'm trying to get as little strokes as possible, and I'm going to take risks. And I know for a lot of people getting into it, they go for a safer approach. They want the guarantee.
Okay, that's all cute. Sorry to interrupt you, but what about from a personality standpoint? What if you miss a shot? What if you hit a shot? What are we going to see from Nikki Blades on the course?
Depends on the day. It depends on the day. Sometimes I'm going to be upset. I do know not to throw my club, and I have this thing. It's called left-handed aggression because you can't really do much with your left hand. So if I get upset and I want to do something, I throw it with my left hand because it's not as much damage.
So you're a character.
I am.
Basically, and then you can see from some of your, and just stay with me. I'm taking everybody on the journey that get back to Draymond Green.
He takes people on journeys. We don't know if like the end ain't going to be
I'm waiting
on
for
point,
it. Right.
Or you going to be like, bro, what was that all for?
No, but listen, if we go on her Instagram account right now, you'll see her like making all these sounds and doing this stuff. If I took that away from your game, if we took that away from your game, will Nikki Blades still shoot under 100?
Yes.
And the answer is no.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Draymond Green.
The difference between what you're talking about is golf is an individual sport. And if I have to act accordingly in order for me to get back on a course or to play at a certain place, I'm going to adjust my game because I know the bigger picture. Draymond is playing on a team. It is not all about him. it's not saying that he's not still going to be Draymond Green, but he is going to be aware of not swinging on somebody. Don't come up and put somebody in a chokehold. He's going to act right. He went through this process, and while he was going through his healing process, because it was mandated by the NBA.
A 2-week healing process.
But I
just went through 4 months.
He
got more work to do. 2 weeks?
Yes. He started it, but during that process, he did not pick up the ball once. He really wanted to focus on his mental, which that's something that you can speak on. But he knows that his actions are affecting his team. Draymond is not playing just his own game. He has other people that need him. So I believe he will still be himself, but pull back a little bit. He was reckless. We know that, though. We fully know that he was acting out.
I agree, because he can still be Draymond, but not kicking somebody in the groin, choking somebody out. Like, is he going to still get techs? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
He's going to get his regular technical fouls, but as we all know, Draymond's going to be Draymond.
Yes.
He needs Draymond. To B's point, he still needs to be Draymond to be effective for the Warriors. He still need that energy. He still going to need those texts to get everybody fired up and let them know he is the dog on the court for the Warriors. So he knows, like, yo, I'm just not doing what I'm doing right near on this picture, pulling people's jerseys, choking people out,
to quote the antics. He's going to drop the antics.
All right, I'm still on this journey here.
All right, here we go.
So what was the question? What was the question about Draymond? Or what can you say that again about, like,
What version of Draymond do you think is going to show up?
So the version that's going to show up is the one that you're talking about. He's going to alter his game and his personality to fit this team structure, and also make sure that he's not in this situation again facing a suspension. And that version of Draymond is not a championship version of Draymond. Watch this. No.
What are you talking about?
Watch this. It's not a version of Draymond that's helped the Warriors become a dynasty. Think about, there's some players, like, y'all notice, y'all been on teams before. Now, everybody's different. B, you're even kill. You're the same, but me, I'm going to be ramped up at times. You know that I could toe the line and potentially cross the line. If you take that away from me, if you take that away from, let's say, an NBA great, Dennis Rodman, we need you to be the poster boy of being a model citizen. Dennis Rodman's not Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman helped Michael Jordan win multiple championships because he had the antics. He crossed the line. So this is what comes with players like this. So Draymond Green pulling himself back is not Draymond Green. Draymond Green is an undersized big man. What makes Draymond Green is that he's an undersized big man, but he is nasty. He's ferocious. And so now we're going to see a different version of him.
It's not a different version.
No, it's going to be the version where he's not stomping out nobody, chokeholding someone.
It's playoff Draymond. He doesn't do that in the playoffs.
He's going to play his game.
He's not kicking nobody, stomping on them in the playoffs. Right. In the playoffs, his text is just verbal text.
And to what you're saying,
they can handle that.
His antics have been affecting his team negatively because he's gone too far. Dance the line, be aggressive, be that person, be that player, but understand that once you cross it, there are repercussions. That's why he was gone. We needed him. And moving forward, he is going to do what's necessary to still be him as a player, but not do too much to hurt his team.
All right, this is what I would say. All right, my final thoughts here. I truly believe Draymond Green, he's already outside of his prime. We know that. But everything that was left in Draymond Green, we're not going to see, and the Golden State Warriors is not going to get. Because what makes us athletes who we are and how we rise to the top is that we react. It's like our second nature to go out there and just be. When you get in your head, that's when you lose. A boxer, a fighter, now I'm more sophisticated. I'm in my head. The game is altered. Football player, basketball player. So for me, Draymond Green, think about this. Draymond's out there playing with passion and all this aggression. That's what makes him great. And I agree with you guys that, you can't be suspended. You can't be punching people. But when you start getting in your head and you go out there and it's like, Adam Silver had to talk me into still playing, I was just like, I'm done. Like, come on, bro. Now you're really in your head. Now it's really messing with you. So now you're going out there. You know there's going to be 2-3 cameras on you. They're going to be waiting for your reaction on every single moment. And so now you're playing uptight. And so, like, that's the problem with a player like Draymond Green altering their approach. Like, yeah, you don't want to get suspended. You don't want to get in trouble. But I still – watch this. Watch this. I can guarantee this. Last thing I'll say, B, I guarantee over the next 25 games, watch how watch his facial expressions. You're not going to see no emotion out of Draymond Green.
Crazy.
Bet it.
It's all about –
Listen,
you're not going to see Draymond scream at nobody, get mad. Watch.
At the end of the day, it's all about control. And that's what you have to do as a professional. You have to learn how to control your emotions, but still express them when necessary. He's going to play his game. You say no.
How to do it.
You say no. I say yes.
You think Draymond was going to leave over like 50-something mil on the table and retire?
Absolutely
He's
not.
thinking out loud. Like, them thoughts
He was emotional. He's an emotional guy.
Like,
He's emotional.
You know how you're in the locker room and you're like, man, trade me tomorrow. I'm like, all right, like, hold on, wait. We might go to the playoffs. Let's see how this year play out.
Let me act right a little
I know
bit.
you're serious. Like, yeah, he's just thinking out loud.
Yes.
Draymond finna come back and beat Draymond. They'll be fine.
Thank you.
All right, so bet. Let's watch the next 20-something games and watch this dude be in a box and be walking around like this. He ain't gonna show no expression. Watch.
He's gonna be great. I believe in
see.
you. Now let's get into our game. What's the word? Pretty simple. I give you a sentence and we talk about this, and you give me one word, Brandon. That is for you. One word.
Look. It's her first day. It's her first day on the show. She's like,
she quick.
One word that
like
best
her.
completes the sentence. And don't go deep diving and doing all this research to give me one word. B yesterday killed it because he knows what he wants to talk about. So some news coming down this morning. The Bears have told Matt Eberflus, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, close.
Close? Correct me. What was it?
I don't know.
All
You're
right.
asking the wrong person.
Okay.
Eberflus. I don't know.
That he will return as head coach next season. Now, this is a huge decision given the questions at QB. So what's the word? Justin Fields should feel blank about Bears keeping Eberflus.
Comfortable. More information that people aren't privy to. So I am iconic. So you got my word. We good?
Yes. What was the word again? What was the word?
Comfortable.
Okay. Let's see if he changes it.
All
All right, let's go.
Okay.
So we launched this tour. I am iconic. We stopped in Chicago first. Boom. One of the nights we had dinner. Myself, Cam Newton, Justin Fields, and a couple of guys. Right. And so we're just trying to be OGs and vets just to see where he's at, and maybe we can give him some jewels to move forward. Like, and really it's like Cam Newton. Cam Newton is the perfect person. It's like, yo, how did you navigate through this? What can I learn from that? What can I do in my current situation? One of the things that I found interesting was like him making a statement. He's like, look, everybody in the building know who I am. So there's a lot of talk outside. What are the Bears going to do? Are they going to keep him? Do they like him? Do they not like him? He went out there. Did he throw his coaches under the bus? What are their relationship? And he said, everybody know what they're getting every single day, and they know me and I know them. So I say comfortable is because they fired today his quarterback coach and his offensive coordinator, right? They kept his guy. So them being on the same page and knowing each other, like, he should feel really good about that. Like, if there was real beef, then one of those would be gone. And it's still an opportunity for Justin Fields to potentially be traded somewhere else and they go use their number 1 overall pick to get someone. But it tells me that this head coach, whatever his name is, Eberflus, because me and Nikki trying to figure this out.
Eberflus?
Yeah, whatever. So those two guys did what I told Brandon to do. Like, it's okay to go to couples counseling. Brandon don't want to believe in couples counseling with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, but I feel like they did that in their line, so everything is comfortable in Chicago as we speak.
I would go with excited. How many different head coach or play callers have Justin Fields had, right? That he might have felt like didn't fit my style of play. One thing about the Chicago Bears head coach was smoke is fire. Like, if they said he was going to be on the hot seat in the media, he knows it's a possibility that I can't be out of here. So his thing that he knew he had to do was go to Justin Fields and make everything right.
That's
on
right.
that exit meeting.
That's
like,
right.
hey, buddy, what you thinking? What you doing? Because I'm on your side. he go tell Justin Fields everything he wants to hear, and Justin Fields gonna be like, oh, all right, I got you right where I want you. Like, now you guys see it is my team. Let me be involved with the decision making. He's not gonna have the say-so of the final say-so of who comes in, but they gonna run it past his desk now, because the head coach knows coming from the GM, like, yo, make sure y'all on the same page, because if y'all ain't, you might be going before Justin Fields. So Justin Fields should be very excited knowing that he's going to have a play caller coming in, a quarterback coach that he's going to feel comfortable with, and a head coach is not going to challenge him.
And they also, they both earned it, right? They both earned it. The Chicago Bears started off 0-4. Justin Fields, bust, move on. This head coach, he calls out, probably right after that fourth game, he calls out the coach, I'm in my head too much. Boom. What happens after that? This is where Justin Fields, to me, earned it. He calls him out, said, y'all giving me too much. I'm thinking too much. Draymond Green, thinking too much. I'm in my head. Let me go do me. What happens? Over 3 games, almost 400 yards, almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's playing phenomenal. He gets hurt. He hurts his shoulder now. He already answered the call, Justin Fields. Hurts his shoulder now. Now they put the backup quarterback in. The backup quarterback comes in, he plays at a high level. Remember what the head coach said, okay? The head coach said, he made a comment after the game, and it was more so, it was almost like taking a shot at Justin Fields, I thought, where it was like, basically like we winning without him. Like, it's about our system and me. Yeah. He was the problem. Justin Fields come back. 3 weeks later, they have a decision to make. Do we keep with our guy, our backup quarterback, or is it Justin Fields? Justin Fields come in. And so Justin Fields he didn't play as well after the injury that he did, those 3 games after he made his comments. But here's where, those last 8 games is where this head coach earned the right to come back to lead this team. They win 5 out of 8 games. Like, they're really, if they got into the playoffs, they're one of those teams that we would be talking about like nobody wants to play them.
That's a stretch.
It's not, bro. It's not. Think about it, bro. They beat the Lions. They beat the Vikings, right? Like, they beat some really good teams convincingly. So, like, I disagree with you there. Like, I think the Chicago Bears, after post-trade deadline, when they went and got sweat and they made some adjustments, Justin Fields said what he said, they became a very competitive team.
Okay. So what you disagree? Oh.
You said that's a stretch of, like, them being a team and being scared.
Nah,
like,
yeah, that's
a stretch?
Yeah.
Why is that a stretch?
In the NFC, would you be worried? If you're the 49ers, you scared of the Bears? No. If you're the Cowboys, you scared of the Bears? No. The Rams, you'll be scared of the Bears? No. The Lions might be the only team because that's a division team.
Okay, so let me ask that same question. If you're the 49ers, would you be scared of the Rams?
Yes.
Really?
What? That's a division opponent. Like, the Rams, they don't want to see trust me, the 49ers don't want to see the Rams in the playoffs.
Okay, but we're talking about the Bears here.
All right.
Well,
we're talking about the Bears.
He might be right. It might have been. I'm sitting here like,
you're like, okay, hold on.
Listen, most people on TV won't do this. Listen, I'm with you when you're right, bro. I'm like, yeah, I might have been a bit of a stretch. But they played well though. 5 out of the last 8.
They did,
Nikki,
sure.
Come on.
Okay, but we are still talking about the Bears. Should the Bears focus more on Fields running, even if it means taking more hits?
That's tough because you don't want to get him injured, but at the same time, he made this offense, so much more effective when he uses legs. Almost like Dak, right? Dak can stand in the pocket and he can deliver and have a great game, but when he uses legs, he's deadly. And I think until this offense get 100% in sync and they do have an identity, he's definitely going to have to use his legs to create first downs and big plays, to keep defensive coordinators and defensive players just on their toes about what can we do. We can't blitz. We need a spy for him. Like, they trying to figure out. When you have a running quarterback and you're a defensive guy, like, all you worry about is don't let him get loose in the pocket. Because now, as DBs, we got to cover forever. And if we're covering and he scrambled for 15, that's deflating for a defense. So he definitely needs to use his legs to kind of open up this offense a little bit more.
If you agree with me on this one, then it's saying a lot about this kid, because I know the comparison I'm making and this guy I'm about to talk about, you're high on. So the question is, should the Bears and Justin Fields run more, rely on that?
Yes.
Okay. And the answer is, it's like it's not because Justin Fields is capable of doing this. Is because this is the modern quarterback. You have to be a dual threat. Justin Fields comparison is Josh Allen.
I was hoping you ain't say Josh Allen. There's no comparison to Josh Allen.
Okay.
Bro, big arm, hold on, watch this. Big arm and dynamic running the ball. Josh Allen, we keep talking about Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen is equally as effective on the ground as Lamar Jackson. He's him there.
Yes.
Now, where I can see the pushback is Justin Fields hasn't had the success that Josh Allen has had. He has a better ownership, better head coach, and they have playmakers. What did they do when Josh Allen, when he was young and when he first got there? They went and got Stephon Diggs, bro. They had a Leslie Frazier on the other side. They had more stability and they had better people to work with. And we're talking about a dying division where New England Patriots and Tom Brady ran it for 20 years. So the last 4 or 5 years have been a Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills show. So, but the passing thing, let's stay here. Where did Justin Fields go to school? Do you remember? What, Wyoming? Was it Wyoming?
Justin Fields went
sorry, not Justin Fields, but Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Was it Wyoming?
Something like that, yeah.
Look up his completion percentage there. Look up his completion percentage there. Look up his completion percentage before Brian Daboll came to Buffalo. He was hit or miss. He wasn't accurate. 56%. So what I'm saying to you is Brian Daboll comes, gets him on the right track. Brian Daboll leaves. He gets the head coaching job in New York. Now he starts to struggle again. They fire their offensive coordinator halfway through this year. Joe Brady takes over. Now he's back on track. Imagine if Justin Fields had the same infrastructure that Josh Allen had. We know who he is on the ground. Passing, he can make every throw, but it's like he's hit or miss at times. He needs the right pieces around him, and that's why the comparison for me is Josh Allen. Now, I'm not saying that he's Josh Allen now, but in the right situation, I'm telling you, we could be looking up and like, yo, that dude is similar to him.
Well, we could clearly talk about this forever.
Like I know, that's why I said if he can agree with this, it said a lot about that kid.
But we do need to move on. We are still playing What's
Allen.
the Word. Y'all can fight about this later. We need to move on.
Ain't no
Next
Josh Allen out
up,
there.
we have something else you guys could debate about. The Steelers are huge underdogs this weekend in Buffalo. They will not have TJ Watts. Mason Rudolph is going to get the start. So what's the word? The Steelers have a blank chance to upset the Bills.
The Steelers have a puncher's chance. Like think about boxing, and it's like almost like a Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder goes in every single fight. To me, I don't care if he's favored. He is the underdog for me because all he's banking on is this right hand, one punch. If he doesn't connect with that one punch, he is done. He's cooked. Okay, so their right-hander one punch is Coach Tomlin. And we're asking a lot of Coach Tomlin, right? And the reason why they don't really have a chance for me, and if I had to put it in a percentage, I would say like 10%, is because you lose TJ Watt. TJ Watt makes everything go. This is potentially the defensive player of the year. He had 19 sacks. 19 sacks. You can't replace that within a week. You can't do it. He makes everything go. If you watch this kid play, what offenses have to do to stop this guy, he is unstoppable. We keep talking about Michael Parsons, and you got the Bosa brothers. Like I think he's and then there's Aaron Donald still for me, and then he's a close second. Like this dude is a dog. Like one-on-one, nobody can stop him. And for that reason, you know, it's going to be hard for them to beat the Buffalo Bills. My answer is a puncher's chance. What did I say? Punchers? What did I say?
What's your word?
What?
Puncher's chance, 2 words, but I get where you're going.
The expectations
right?
are lower, Brandon. I'm just happy it's not another sentence.
What's the words?
I like it because I was trying to get it into one word and I couldn't, but your word fit it so perfectly. You know, because I was going to go with like a 30% chance, which is a puncher's chance. Because like you said, they got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin going to motivate his team and feel like they can win any game no matter who's on the field. Yes, they don't have TJ Watt, but is that enough to make the Buffalo Bills relax just a little bit? and that defense is creating turnovers because Josh Allen will turn the ball over. They can run the ball. They have a great rushing attack. Like, they can run the ball and keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. And Mason Rudolph, they'll just take their shots. If they run the ball and take their shots to Deontay Johnson and Pickens, they can score 2 or 3 times, you know?
But the thing is like, because I agree on the offensive side, you know, Mason Rudolph has the hot hand the last couple of weeks, and they can potentially put up a couple of scores. But what you always could bank on was T.J. Watt making that play. We're talking about a dude not only has 19 sacks, but how many interceptions, how many tackles for losses, you know, like the amount of attention that he draws. So that's why it's going to be hard because that's your superstar.
But in any other game, when you got Najee Harris running the ball to keep Josh Allen off the field, Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over.
Right.
Like, you need T.J. Watt on the field to get strip sacks and like force opposing quarterbacks to turn the ball over. With Josh Allen, you can count on him kind of giving you the ball.
Your guy.
Like, right? That's still my guy. But when you just show him different defensive schemes and trick him a little bit, because Josh Allen will throw it straight to you. If he's thinking one thing and you give him like a disguise, he'll throw it straight to you. So that's why, you can always say you need T.J. Watt, but this game against this offense, he's not going to be that missed.
Listen, we talked about this yesterday and we agreed on this. Cleveland is playing Houston.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be like, if you really like football, that's going to be a really good game. That's probably going to be, from a football standpoint, it's going to be the game to watch. Mm-hmm. This is going to be an interesting game to pay attention to because you're going to be looking like, damn, can this Pittsburgh Steelers do it? You know, what is Josh Allen going to do? Is he going to is he going to turn the ball over? So I am excited to see the outcome of this game, but my eyes will be more glued towards like a Cleveland-Houston game, and then obviously there's some other things.
It's the warm-up game to everything, where it's like you watching it, you're like, hold on now.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of like to get you excited for the next game, or it can just be Buffalo can blow them out the doors. But like you said, you want to know. You're going to be interested to see how this is going to play out. You never can count Tomlin out, though.
Well, let's continue with what's the word. The big news in the NFL yesterday was the Titans firing Mike Vrabel.
That's right.
Yeah, I said it right. That V is there for no reason. Immediately after the news was released, Twitter, or X if you're young, went crazy with speculations about, is he going to join his former team, the Patriots, or not? Of course, the only minor problem is that Bill Belichick is still the head coach. So what's the word? The Pats would be blank to replace Belichick with Vrabel.
Smart. Like, this is the Patriot way. When you talk about someone embodying what the Patriot way is, there's a few guys that's at the top of the list. There's obviously a Tom Brady, there's Vrabel, there's the Brewskis of the world, there's the Julian Edelmans of the world, and you know, you can name a few others, but he is right there. We played against him. You said you played with him yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So you know what type of dude this is, and so I'm thinking from Robert Kraft's standpoint, you want to stay comfortable, and you hire people that you're comfortable with and familiar with, right? Because it's like, yo, plug and play. Can I bring somebody in that understands exactly what the expectations are and how we're supposed to operate? You go back to, I believe it was October when they were going to Germany. Remember, there was reports that if they don't win that game, that Bill Belichick probably will be fired. They didn't win. He wasn't fired. Okay. But during that time, like, I'm making some calls and I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, like, why would they fire him? Why wouldn't they trade him? One of the things that I heard was Robert Kraft then had his eyes on Coach Vrabel. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, the Patriots mutually part ways. I will not be surprised if Coach Vrabel is the head coach. I think this would be an excellent hire for the Patriots, and he's a phenomenal coach. And I need to ask some questions because I'm curious to why did they let him go? Why did they let him go? He's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach. But the word for me would be premature. The reason it's premature is because Jim Harbaugh haven't signed yet. Ooh. Like, you give everything hell and high water to bring in Jim Harbaugh and let him pick his quarterback and let him try to put life back into this franchise, right? Because even the name, Jim Harbaugh, like, that's almost, you look at it like a
brand.
Almost.
It's like a brand.
It's a brand.
Right.
Right? So I love Mike Vrabel. He's a smart coach. I think he'll be a perfect fit for the New England Patriots, but it's just premature because Jim Harbaugh is still out there. You can't make this hire while Jim Harbaugh is still out there. But if Jim Harbaugh gets signed somewhere else, Vrabel would be this coach for the next 20 years. He's smart. He's tough. He'll keep the right coaches on the staff, like a Gerard Mayo. He's going to keep all those smart guys in place.
The Patriots.
Patriots. Like, it's the Patriot way, but he won't be as strict as Bill Belichick. Like I played with Vrabel. He's smart. He's not about that nonsense, but he knows how to have a good time too. So that's what the Patriots need. He's a young Bill Belichick. He'll do everything to get this organization in the right place, but they will have to bring in the GM who knows what they're doing to surround this franchise, like a Tom Telesco from the Chargers, who knows how to pick players. He just missed on head coaches to sew this up.
Maybe that's what Josh McDaniels need to do. Instead of going back to coaching, maybe he goes be the general manager of the Patriots and Vrabel becomes the head coach. I don't want to see Josh McDaniels back on the sideline.
Vrabel would be nice there.
He would be nice.
Now, this is an interesting topic. So Mike Francesa was on his radio show, WFAN, yesterday, and he was ripping apart the NFL for putting playoff games on paid streaming platforms. For example, the Chiefs-Dolphins game, you can only see it on Peacock. And if you don't have Peacock, you're not going to be able to watch it. So what's the word? The NFL makes fans pay for playoff games on TV is blank.
Smart.
What?
You're taking out my word.
No, let me say this. No, I'll let you take that word. Go ahead, you go first.
Oh, so
no, it is smart.
I'm going to change my word.
It's so smart. Are you not going to pay for Peacock and not watch the NFL game? Like, you're going to pay it. Like, you not?
I haven't. Like, I've been, like, trying to – it sucks. It sucks when it's like, oh, the game's on Peacock. It's on Amazon. And it's like, I got to figure it out. Like,
bro, you got kids. You don't got all of them anyway? I got all of them anyway.
You do?
Yeah.
I was going to say my word is stupid.
Why?
Because we're all tired of having to get all of these streaming platforms constantly to be able to watch something that we used to be able to just turn on the TV and see. Like, you're taking it out of the everyday person. If you're thinking about how much it costs every day to pay for all of these services, and then on top of it, you're going to go and make me pay to watch my favorite team play. Yes, some are going to do it, but I just don't think that it's a smart decision.
That's what television is coming to now. Like, YouTube finna have games. Like, every streaming service is going to have games now. Like, the evolution, it's coming. They're almost just preparing you for it slowly but surely. Now, would it be one big broadcast that's going to, like, sew all these up and have them under their umbrella and get a big bag? Yeah, that's coming soon in the next 5 to 10 years. But every streaming platform is going to have their own games. So this is just a tipping of the iceberg, so it's smart. This is what it's come.
Right, and I'm leaning more towards you, B, than you, Nikki.
That's
you
okay.
know, what's my word? NFL making fans pay for playoff games on TV is business.
It's business.
And the reason why it's business, like I had the privilege to sit in on, you know, I'm a geek out here for, 45 seconds or so. So I had the privilege 2 years ago to sit in on a case study that was like a recap of a case study at Harvard. Professor Anita L. Bursay, the BIMS program. So what they looked at was like, why was the NFL partnering and working with the Facebooks, the Twitters of the world, and Amazon, et cetera, et cetera? Like, we know now linear television, traditional television is dying. It's pretty much dead. Everything is digital. Everything is streaming. And so the NFL, like, I was able to hear this case study, and what happens at Harvard is you break down this case, and then the students just sit down and talk and debate, and they give their perspective. And then at the end of it, they'll bring in the subject, right? So they brought in the chief digital officer who led the strategy and is leading strategy for the NFL over the next 10 years. And so he was able to come in and say, like, this is what we're doing, and this is why. And what he said was, and first we got to know, like, what pays the bills? It is media. So traditional media is dying. People, eyeballs aren't there. So for the NFL to stay smart and to keep their business going, they now got to shift. So now they're going to the streaming partners, but they feel like it's not going to settle in for the next 7 years or so. So they're not locking in with anybody long term, but what they are doing is saying, we are going to give YouTube some stuff. We are going to get Peacock some stuff. We are going to give Amazon some stuff, because for us to stay smart and relevant, we have to do that. That's where the eyeballs are. So it's just business.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So speaking of business, how long is it going to be before we have to pay to watch the Super Bowl?
If I was in the NFL next year.
Really?
Like, let's get to this money. Like B said, it's business. Who's not going to pay for the Super Bowl? How many millions and millions and millions of people watch the Super Bowl, right? And who's going to miss out on that? Like every bar, every restaurant, you at home. If we paying for a Jake Paul fight just to watch it to see what's entertaining, like we're not going to miss the Super Bowl. Like if they put it out there, we're going to do it.
That's a good point.
Damn, that was a good.
You've been in your bag the last 2 days, bro.
I did my little woo style when I was going on my back.
Hey, Brian, let's keep him rested. Let's keep him rested. Like, we go 3 weeks on, give him a week off. Like, yo.
Yeah, I mean, that example right there, you prove a point. Ugh.
Right. Like, because what pay-per-view, some of our biggest events, what are they doing, 30, 40, 50 million? Like, some of our biggest fights. Can we look that up?
Yeah, I mean, people are paying for it.
Yeah, if we're willing to watch Pacquiao and Mayweather, Jake Paul versus some slap, like no-name dude, they're doing numbers. Why wouldn't we pay-per-view or stream pay for the Super Bowl?
Okay.
I know Andrew, our fact checker / super producer, is looking up like some of the biggest events and from a pay-per-view standpoint.
Biggest ever was Floyd and Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
Biggest ever was Floyd, Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao, which they just announced they're going to fight again in 2024.
But the pay-per-view revenue brought in 410
Only 4.6 million?
buys, but they made 410 million.
So they made 410 million.
NFL crushed that.
But it's like one of the things that makes the NFL great too, bro. You talk about like, you know, people globally are tuning into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so now it's an opportunity to expand to new audiences and new territories. So now you got 120 million watching. And if you put that behind the paywall, then what are you going to get, 30 million people to buy? So you know there are some cons to putting it behind the paywall. You know, like think about like Rihanna coming now, what they're doing with Jay-Z involved with the halftime show. Rihanna was bigger than the Super Bowl. We went from 120 million people watching globally to 150 just for halftime. And then the numbers went back down. So it's like, that's the con.
And it's a leveraging tool.
Yeah.
You gonna come to ABC like, yo, you know we can do this. Like, what are you gonna throw us to put the Super Bowl on ABC? Like,
well, they already, don't they already have it. That's part of the package. It's like, and that's really what they're aiming for. Whether it's ABCs, the ESPNs, the NBCs, the CBSs, is like, yo, so every year it alternates CBS, Fox, et cetera, who has the Super Bowl. But like, that's part of the package. But we're not really watching that. It's like, think about now, like some of these deals, we're talking about $1 billion, $2 billion. That one fight grossed 410 million.
Yeah.
So now you go streaming, the numbers just get outrageous.
So many valid points were made with that one, but it is
difficult.
time to move on. We got some big news. Now, maybe the most anticipated game of the wild card this weekend is going to be in Arrowhead. The Dolphins, who of course play in Miami where it's nice and warm and tropical, face the champs in what could be the coldest game ever played. Forecasters are predicting that temps could fall below 0. It's going to be freezing.
Wow.
Now, would it be fair to write off the Dolphins simply because of the weather? Can they go and take their tropical butts out there and deal with the cold?
Yes, it is fair. It's fair to write off the Dolphins. You're saying in the history?
History. It's going to be below 0. They're playing on ice. This is going to be, the guys are going to be on the sideline doing everything they can to try to keep their bodies warm. Hopefully they're not hurt, because we all know what it feels like when a sore body is in the cold.
So here's my thing on this, and if people who tuned in and listened to us talk over the last couple months, I may come off like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not, because what I've always said is you can't put too much into these elements, right? Because like Brandon, for example, Brandon's from South Florida. He's a Florida boy, warm-blooded. You know what I'm saying? But he went to Virginia Tech, right? So now he's at Virginia Tech. He had 3-4 year experience there of being in the cold and understanding that. Then he gets traded, he gets drafted to Kansas City, right? So like you adapt, we naturally adapt. And so now you look at your entire roster, you got people coming from different places and having different experiences. So where like you adapt, even if you play for the University of Miami, like you travel to some of these places, so you're aware of it and you have a routine down. Now where this becomes a problem for the Miami Dolphins, we're talking about, below zero.
Yes.
Like I've played in those type of games. I had one of the coldest games playing in Kansas City, but like we're talking about -10, -13, -15. That's different. Okay. And so the Miami Dolphins traveling up there is going to be difficult for them because they're not in that every day. The Kansas City Chiefs, they every single day right now, just going to the grocery store, going to practice, they got to deal with those elements. So like your mindset is already there. You already know how to operate in those elements. Quick story real quick, B, and I get your thoughts here. Playing in Chicago, Windy City. It's in December. This is 2014-15. Dallas Cowboys come up for Monday Night Football. Des Bryant's on this team. They had a great night, great little roster. I'm about to play in the coldest game I've ever played in. It's negatives. We're predicting that it's going to be -13. It actually was -13 degrees. I had fur in my cleats, right? Like I literally took my cleats to the shoe cobbler. I was like, yo, put fur in these cleats. Like it's going to be crazy out here. Before the game started, I knew we won. I knew we won because our team, we went through our regular routine. We were warming up. I never forget, I'm waiting for the Dallas Cowboys to come out and warm up. I see Des Bryant peek his head out the tunnel. He peeked out. He did this and ran back in. I said, oh, it's a wrap for them boys. The elements are in their head.
Yeah.
And we won. We beat the brakes off this team.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
Ooh. He waited till I got everything out the way, and he's going to come like that. What?
He said, I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah. There ain't no facial expression in that. I just like calmly let you get it in.
So go ahead.
This is why. This is a playoff game.
Ooh.
Like, if you lose, you go home.
Right.
The Miami Dolphins feel like, yo, we pissed. We had a division wrapped up. We supposed to have the number 2 seed. Like, yo, we ready to get back on the field, right? And prove who we are.
Right.
The conditions helps the Dolphins. I feel like they have a better rushing attack, right? When they get in these conditions, you're running the ball. The Miami Dolphins get the ball out their hands quick. They throwing it to Tyreek on screens and slants and letting them run for 70. He's not running 15-yard digs and have to catch the ball and this and that. What has Kansas City struggled with this year? The receivers catching the ball. When it's ice cold, like, you do not want to catch the ball. I remember when we warming up, we played in a cold game, like below zero in Kansas City when I was there. We was going through, like, pre-game drills, and I'm telling my DB coach, like, don't throw me the ball.
Don't throw me the ball.
I don't plan on getting my hands on that today. I'm playing bump and run.
I want nothing to do with that.
I do not need to prepare to catch this ball. Do not jam my finger and throw this ball. Right?
That's so funny. That's the only thing, like, you got to try to keep your hands
on.
Like,
so you think Kansas City, with their catching woes that their receivers been going through, are really going to be there for Mahomes? Kansas City rushing attack hasn't been that this year, not like the Miami Dolphins, right? So I feel like all these elements and conditions will help the Miami Dolphins. And I can't say the Dolphins are going to be victorious because I'm biased. I got to rock with Kansas City, but that's going to give them a great chance to come away with a win.
Nikki, I got to say this.
What?
He's really in his bag
I'm
right
in
now.
my bag.
He's in his bag right now.
It's one of these. It's one of these.
Who do you guys agree with right now? In the chat, this is Brandon Marshall, this is Brandon Flowers, Nikki Blade, SiriusXM Faction Talk, Channel 103. We're also on YouTube for everybody listening to us in your drive, during your drive. Who do you agree with the more? Brandon Flowers or Brandon Marshall?
I feel like you're starting to agree with Flowers.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give my answer first. I agree with Brandon Flowers. I agree. I'll give my answer first. I agree with Brandon Flowers. He literally convinced. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand how to operate in cold weather and different elements. And if you're not in it from a daily standpoint, it could be different, especially with those type of elements. Once it gets below like 10, like we talk about 20 degrees, 15 degrees, 10 degrees, and now we're talking about historical weather.
Yeah.
Like, that's different for guys that's not in it every single day. But listening to B, it makes it like that's what the game is.
Yeah.
Like, who has the better run attack, right? And even from a passing standpoint, like that's what they do. Tyreek Hill, jailbreak screen, a little smoke, a little RPO, boom, he takes it and he runs 60, 70 yards. They don't have to go deep. They do a great job with that, but like it's their game to lose when it comes to that, for sure. So you probably convinced me, Brandon. You probably convinced me.
So how much pressure is on Tua to deliver this week?
It's not that much pressure because he's going against Mahomes, right? Even though Mahomes in Kansas City been struggling this year, it's almost like we still waiting on Mahomes to flip the switch. Like any other quarterback in the league would have said, yo, like this year he fell off. It ain't working for him. He done for. But for some reason, we like, yo, we waiting for Mahomes to pick it up and do his thing. At any moment, he can. I still believe so. So but if Tua comes out and they play a close game, Kansas City wins it like 24-21, Mahomes is Mahomes in the fourth quarter, like it's no pressure at all put on Tua. Now, if Tua comes out and he 3 turnover in it.
There you go.
And they only put 10 points on the board, and their defense was playing well. Mahomes didn't play well, and they lost 13-10.
Yes.
That's when you have to worry about Tua.
That's right. I agree with Brandon. Like, damn, like, I'm
It's a new day. What is
agree with Brandon like he's in his bag right now.
Brandon's
Brian,
like,
make sure this dude has some rest time, meditation time, whatever the hell he did. Like, where did you go? Did you go to like the darkness retreat like Aaron Rodgers? Where did you go? Tell us.
for
He's
real,
for real.
so
Ayahuasca.
secretive too.
I was actually in San Diego, man. It's a place called Mount Soledad that you can go on the top of the mountains and see the whole city. It's like a breath. Like you look at the ocean, bro.
He's a
it's
new
like
man.
therapy, man. Oh, yeah, I am a new man. I'm
Like
a
he was
person.
gone. We was like, where's Brandon at for 2 weeks? I'm sitting in here holding it down by myself. You know, Ashley, her deal was up, and it's like, damn, I'm by myself. Where's B? I was like, I know he's somewhere meditating or closing some big deal or something.
Mount
so
Soledad
thank
in
you
San
for letting
Diego.
us know.
Yeah.
Because you definitely get back. No, I agree with you that there's not any pressure on Tua.
Okay.
You know, if they go out there and lose, we're not going to say, oh, see, Tua can't get it done. That's what we've been talking about. But if Tua goes out there and he losing the game by throwing picks, now we got a problem.
Right.
Now we got a problem. So all he got to do is go out there and don't lose the game. Like, just play
Yeah, just don't lose.
a
Manage it.
turnover-free game. Maybe one interception, you're okay. But if you go out there and you got 2-3 picks, now you become the reason why the Dolphins lost, and there's a bigger storyline there.
Okay, well, let's move on to the Cowboys. Now they're beginning their quest for a Super Bowl this weekend at home against the Packers. Mike McCarthy brought the last Super Bowl to Green Bay, and Jerry Jones is confident that he could do it again in Dallas. Jones said he couldn't be more happy with the job that McCarthy has done since becoming head coach. But this is season 4, and the Cowboys have yet to reach an NFC championship game under McCarthy. So is this game a must-win for him, or what's going to happen next?
Listen, it is a must game for Coach McCarthy, but I disagree with Brandon Flowers and where I know he's going to go, because I think we talked about this yesterday. It's a must win because it's like, look, y'all have everything y'all need, and y'all might not have a better opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And so for that reason, let's go get it done. But if he loses, I don't think that he should be fired. We talked about Justin Fields and his head coach and that partnership. Like, that's the most important thing, is that relationship between the head coach and the quarterback. And so that chemistry, that continuity. Dak Prescott is playing phenomenal football. Why would you disrupt that? Why would you go out there and bring in somebody else? And now Dak Prescott got to learn a new language. He got to learn a new offense. Like, no, that makes no sense. They are clicking. Dak Prescott is not the problem. Coach McCarthy's not the problem. So, like, if we go out there, and the same thing we're talking about Tua, B, if he goes out there and he just managed the game poorly, he goes for it on 4th down when he wasn't supposed to, he just freaks out. He shits his pants. Oh, sorry.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Like, just like I just did. Like,
Let me move this out the way.
water up.
Right.
He shits his pants. I was like,
Right,
He
long.
shits his pants. Now we can talk about that. But I don't see him doing that, because really there's a few coaches that's on a list of coaches of the year, and I think he should be up there. I don't think he'll win, but he should be up there because he's done a phenomenal job.
All right.
This is a must win. I agree with you, B. But regardless how they lose this game, if they lose it, he got to go.
Ooh.
See.
4
Like,
seasons
even if
too many?
I don't even care if he calls a great game and Dak throws for 350. Like, you gotta go. Because you'll never have a chance at a head coach like Jim Harbaugh again in the next 10 years. Like, they don't come along that often. Like, when was somebody able to land a Jim Harbaugh? Like, you can try to get a college coach who's a guru or O coordinator who's been willing and dealing, and you think he might be great. Jim Harbaugh won wherever he went. He won at Stanford. He won at Michigan. People forget he only coached in the NFL for 4 years when he was with San Fran? Mm-hmm. And he went to a Super Bowl.
Five or six?
No, it was only 4. And he went to two NFC championships and a Super Bowl. And he got that Mike Singletary team. Like, he went into that Mike Singletary team that nobody gave a chance to. So being that that's his track record, getting to the NFC Championship, getting to the Super Bowl, if you're Jerry Jones, you're like, yo, I'll never have this chance again. We were thinking about him. He should do that with Sean Payton last year. And I think Jim Harbaugh is a better coach than Sean Payton. He knows how to lead a team. That's why. And that's the only reason why, because Jim Harbaugh is out there, that he has to win this game.
Listen, I like Jim Harbaugh, but the way you talk about him is almost as if we're talking about, a generational talent guy coming out.
He is.
3 NFC championships and a Super Bowl, by the way, if you were wondering.
What is it?
3 NFC championships and a Super Bowl.
I mean, that is
In 4
legendary.
years.
He's right. Like, you win at Stanford, you win. He struggled at Michigan. Okay, he won this year.
Yeah,
he got him
back
over.
Right.
Okay, he got it right.
Uh-huh.
He got it right, and I do believe he's an NFL guy, but I'm not putting him on the high on the pedestal the way you are. I don't think he's that. Like, you talk about the next 10 years.
Yes. I mean, would you stay with McCarthy instead of even taking that chance with Jim Harbaugh, being that you know his track record? What has McCarthy done to make you say, I'm going to stick with him and miss out, which I think is a generational talent head coach?
Look, hold on. First off, what's the name of the game? Like, what are we here to do?
Win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, win.
Win.
McCarthy don't win.
Win.
No,
Win a Super Bowl.
Isn't that
You
the
want
only
the opportunity.
point? Is that what you're
Look at
trying to do?
Let's go to the standings here. The Dallas Cowboys won the division. They're 12-5. They have one of the best. Let's go in the dude.
But if
they have the
lose.
second best. They have the second best record. Well, third. Like, they're tied with the second best record in the NFL. They're tied with the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions at 12-5. So there's 3 teams at 12-5, one team sitting at 13-4, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Like, what are we talking about here?
A championship.
They
Does
win
that
a
matter if they
division.
lose the first playoff game?
It does, because look, think about it. Think about it. All right, we can say the same with Coach McVay and the Rams. They won one, but are you guys going to win another one? Even Sean Payton. Like, Sean Payton, he won one Super Bowl in his entire career. Why is he still up for these? Why did he get this Denver Bronco job? Why is he well sought after? To me, I'm looking at, yes, we want the Dallas Cowboys to win a Super Bowl, or not we, but like, that's the conversation around the Cowboys every single year. But all you want is an opportunity. There's not a better opportunity. You're sitting at 12-5. Now, if he goes out there, and this conversation's a lot like we just had about Tua. Mm-hmm. Like, if he goes out there and he lose the game, now we can talk about it. But if he goes out there and Dak Prescott throws 3 interceptions, or Micah Parsons jumps off sides 3 times in critical moments, and he's the reason why they lose the game, then why does Coach McCarthy need to be the fall guy?
I still say because Dallas have been suffering with penalties all year. Like, it still comes from the top down. You mentioned Sean McVay. He just got in this thing. He had a Super Bowl appearance, and he won one.
Yep.
Like, at least he's making runs. Like,
but he can be the next Coach McCarthy. So Coach McCarthy won, like what you said, Nikki, and when you teed us up here, he won, and Jerry Jones said, well, he won in Green Bay, and now he can do it. I believe he can do it here. Okay, so that was years ago. So Coach McVay could be the next guy where he won one, but how long is it going to take the Rams to get back to that position?
Bro, the Rams went to the Super Bowl, lost against, who was it, Brady? No, it wasn't Brady when they came back. Who did the Rams lose to? I think it might have been Tom Brady.
Was it the Chiefs?
No, it was Tom Brady when Brady came back from that
suspension,
that deficit. No, remember?
No, the 28-3. That was Atlanta.
That was Atlanta.
28-3. But the Rams.
McVay went with Goff and they didn't win, and then he just won it recently.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
That's a 2-time Super Bowl trip within the span of 4 years. Like, I'll take that if I'm the Dallas Cowboys. Right? You talking about McCarthy, who haven't been in 15? You might as well say Gary Kubiak can come in.
McVay lost to Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he lost to Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So you can't crown McCarthy for winning that one when they was loaded with all those guys in Green Bay. Cause
all right, let me put it this way. Sorry to interrupt you. Nikki, welcome to the show. Nikki Blades here. Guest host. Over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, we will be testing multiple people and figuring out where we want to go. It's a blank canvas for us. Nikki, every so often on the show, I'll go out and I'll put together these B, what would you call them? Like the stories that I tell to try to make my point. It's not scenarios, but we're talking about real estate, we're talking about relationships.
I don't know. I just say you're going on your rants.
Okay, there you go. I'm going on the
you
rant.
like to rant occasionally.
Yeah.
All right, so
he hit sometime now. Sometimes
I'm waiting for it to come back.
Yeah.
The last 5 or 6 I've been hitting, I think I'm going to hit here.
You come with his analogies.
So we're talking about what right now?
What happens?
McCarthy.
Yeah,
McCarthy.
Right. What happens if he doesn't win?
Okay.
What position is he about to be in?
Okay, so this is what made me come up with this new rant. Our producer, Brian, texts in the group. He says, hasn't McCarthy proven he is the best option for Dak? Let's go to relationships.
Oh, my God.
Here we go. Let's say Andrew, you're a chick today. Okay? Andrew Woohoo. Super attractive. Beautiful. We meet. We go on a date. You're what's best for me. Oh, it's my world. The energy, the alignment, the connection. We see the world the same way. It's a great relationship. It works. That's Coach McCarthy. Now, me and Andrew, we're walking down the street. No, let's go in the mall. It's a lot of motion, a lot of action. My eyes get big. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's smart and beautiful. She's smart, beautiful, and got her own bag. Now let me go try that out. You go over there. B, the grass ain't always greener. A lot of beautiful women out there, but just focus on what you got. So now you got Dak Prescott sitting here playing some of his greatest ball. He's probably going to win. No, he'll probably be second to Lamar Jackson in MVP. He was going to win it until Lamar went crazy the last 3 games. So now you got Jim Harbaugh out there, your guy, generational guy, the best coach that we were going to see in 10 years.
The girl walking around that's smart, pretty, got a big bag, got a degree, but she got it. But she's really up there.
So now Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones fires Coach McCarthy, and he goes get the new girl.
Okay, so if you're using the same scenarios, somebody messes
up. First off, before we even go there,
is
it a good scenario?
Yeah, it's a great scenario.
Thank you.
It makes sense.
No, you ain't put it back there.
No,
yes, it is.
Look, it makes sense, but you also have to talk about what happens if you mess up.
Hold on. So
because that's the scenario. What we're talking about, if McCarthy loses, what happens next?
Okay, so what type of losing? Did he cheat on Dak Prescott?
No.
Hold on. Let's stay in relationships. Did he cheat on?
So it's how you lose.
It's how you lose. But did he forget to bring home? Did he forget to do the honey-do list? Did he forget to bring home milk? Come on, those are mistakes that we talk through, we get over. Now, if he goes out there and he cheats on Dak Prescott by calling a terrible game, now we can say, I need to go explore other options.
You're looking at it the wrong way, right? It's all about levels.
But was it a good scenario before we get into
It depends.
Come on, B, don't be a
I'm going to tell you why. It's all about levels, right?
Yeah.
It's levels to this. Meek told you. You can have a great high school girlfriend. She can be great for you in high school, right? Everything was perfect. You walked into class. She kind of brought you little snacks before you went to class, wore your jersey at the football games. It was great.
That was dope.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was
good. It was great for you.
Yeah.
But when you can upgrade to a different level and you're grown and you have a wife, when you're playing in the league, it's a different playing field with high school and a professional level. You need somebody to go cook, take care of the kids. You might have a boss that's bringing in the bag just like you. Somebody that just won't miss. Somebody that's going to elevate you. Jim Harbaugh is that person. He elevated every place he went to. He had Andrew Luck at Stanford, right? He had Alex Smith. Upgraded him. Colin Kaepernick took him to a Super Bowl. Went to Michigan. He has J.J. McCarthy. He won a championship with J.J. McCarthy, beating Alabama and outplayed Penix, who's going to be a first rounder. Like, he's the guy, or he's the girl, he's the Beyonce. He's going to elevate he's going to upgrade every relationship he goes to.
So he's Beyonce.
He's Beyonce. Hey, I know my high
but you know
school
who
babe,
McCarthy is?
Who?
For Dak Prescott.
No, he's the high school one. He's great for that moment.
He's Taylor Swift. He's Taylor Swift for Dak Prescott.
Not.
Because Beyonce's Beyonce.
He's great for the moment.
But the top grossing artist and revenue generator from a tour standpoint, they both went out there head to head.
I just
and Taylor Swift was the one that outgrossed Beyonce.
Leave Taylor alone. We're not talking about her today.
But I'm saying, I hear
McCarthy has flaws. McCarthy,
what's his flaws? They're 12
he can't
and 5.
manage a game.
They're 12 and 5.
In the playoffs, he can't manage a game. That's why they kicked him out of Green Bay, because when you should put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands on 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 3, like, they divorced him. Like, bro, you ain't doing your job. You ain't taking care of the kids. Like, you trying to be in the club. Like, no, Jim Harbaugh is going to do all the above exceptional. That's why you bring
So you did like my dating scenario.
Yeah.
Because you played off of it. Okay, then, so don't hate.
All right. He just had to get something in there. He just give me some credit. All right, let's move on. Now, the last game of the wild card weekend is also maybe the most interesting one. So the crashing Eagles face Baker's Bucks in Tampa. All eyes have been on Jalen Hurts after he injured his finger on his throwing hand last week. And speaking of Hurts, Emmanuel Acho and others have started criticizing the quarterback, implying that Hurts needs a Pro Bowl talent around him in order to be able to perform. Is that fair criticism of Hurts?
I don't think it's fair. Like, what quarterback will be productive without a Pro Bowl cast around him? Like, Mahomes always had Kelsey. Like, everywhere you go, even Josh Allen have Diggs. Like, it's no quarterback that was successful without even Brady. Like, you can say maybe that 1 year with Brady.
Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne,
Pierre
Clark.
Garcon came in right after that.
Edge.
Like, even Tom Brady, he did have Randy. He did have Wes Welker. Julia Edelman is so underrated. Like, everybody had a Pro Bowl caliber guy around them. Like, that's what a quarterback needs to be successful. If you don't have that, like, nah.
I like Emmanuel Acho. Like, I like him. I like his brother too, Sam too. Great guys, work hard. They obviously know the game because they played the game. This is hypocrisy, and it's not just coming from them, but it's just like how we look at a lot of our athletes, and even in different sports. We keep saying that there's no I in team. Team. But in a situation like this with Jalen Hurts, now we're saying, oh, no, you are the I. You are the individual that's supposed to be the reason why this team does X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And to Brandon's point, it's about team. And you look at all the greats, some of the greatest, let's talk about the top 2 greatest quarterbacks, Tom Brady and also Joe Montana. Joe Montana had Jerry Rice.
He had a team.
He had so many dogs.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Brady had dogs. And people keep saying, like, oh, Tom Brady, he played with scraps. No, he did not. No, he did not. Had talent all across the board, and even at the coaching position, and also from management standpoint. So Jalen Hurts, this is what we want. What we've seen over the last 2 years. This is what every organization is striving to become and operate in. Our general manager, our president, Howie, phenomenal executive of the year. He goes out there, he puts a head coach in position, right? He does a phenomenal job. The coaches are really good. Then they go out there and they got the players.
Right.
They play complementary football, and they're balanced, and they have depth.
Yeah.
Right? Defense, offense, special team. Isn't that what we're all trying to strive to be? So, of course, Jalen Hurts being in that, he's going to be able to operate at a high level. I think the problem that they're having now is that, they're trying to, they were exposed, and they haven't had the time to adjust to them being exposed. Mm-hmm. And that changes how they operate on offense. And so that's the problem. But Jalen Hurts, his talent is not, his superpower is not Tom Brady's or Peyton Manning's or Lamar Jackson, where you're going to go out and he's going to take over a game. He's an exceptional leader. He's super consistent, and people love to follow, and he's going to make his plays.
And we quick to judge in the moment, right? He having a off year. to his standards, right, with all the interceptions. But we have to remember Shane Steichen, he's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts right now. He's one of those coaches like an Andy Reid McVay, where he's schematically going to get guys open and get them the ball.
Right.
Now you're telling Jalen just to force it. We're going to run our offense and just force it in there, right? It's a different type of offense for him right now. I don't see this offensive coordinator being there after this year because they're going to try to go to someone more innovative because that's how Jalen is successful. So, like, let's give it time, right? They're still in the playoffs. They still almost won a division. I don't think they'll be able to turn it on and make a run in the playoffs, but that don't discredit Jalen as a player, the player that he is.
Yeah, and that's where, to your point, the interception, I know we got to move on, but he has 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, right? And because he's been asked to do more, he's pressing a little bit, that he's taking more chances, and so you see the interceptions going up. But Jalen Hurts right now, I'm looking at the NFL player passing stats from this season, and I'm looking at yards right now, focused on yards. He's sitting here with 3,858 yards. That put him at 14th on this list. Isn't that from like from a statistic standpoint, isn't this what we expect from him? Now, you know, coming into this year, is he top 5? Is he top 10 quarterback? Absolutely. But we're talking about when you think about Jalen Hurts, you're not expecting Jalen Hurts to put up numbers like Patrick Mahomes or
Josh Allen
or a Joe Burrow. You're not expecting that. You're expecting a dude that's just balanced.
Just be efficient,
consistent.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we are talking about quarterbacks, and now that the season is over for 16 NFL teams, many of them are looking for new QBs in 2024. So let's play a game and predict who will be the QB1 for the following teams. Patriots, who's it going to be?
B, how you want to do this? You want to do it together, or you want to do it
together?
All right, bet. I like what you said yesterday, B. What I'm seeing here with the Patriots, I'm seeing a veteran. I'm seeing him keeping Bill Belichick. I don't think he has time or even the capacity to develop another youngin. I think he goes get Kirk Cousins. How you like that?
Jimmy G, he's coming back. Jimmy G is a Patriot. He's been there before. He understands the culture. Like the Patriots organization
and Belichick wanted him. He wanted to get rid of Brady for him.
Exactly. So I'm going Jimmy G.
All right.
Well, let me align with him first, like, because I said Kirk Cousins. You know, look. When you think about the relationship between Jimmy G, Josh McDaniels, who could potentially be back in that organization if Bill Belichick stays, and Bill Belichick and Jimmy G, it makes a lot of sense. I don't love it, but, you know, there's more teams. We can place Jimmy G back on the Patriots.
All right. The Raiders.
Ooh. Kind of playing all right now. So they won't bring a vet in, but I think they go young. Just in case the young guy doesn't pan out, then they can go back to O'Connell. And I'm saying they keep AP as a head coach, and he bring in Michael Penix. Michael Penix would drop in the draft a little bit. He'll be there for the Raiders. I think the Raiders pull the trigger on him in Vegas.
So I agree with you there that they don't go vet, right? Like, this is a team that's going to have – I wouldn't call them – they're in a rebuild. I think they keep their interim head coach. He's done a phenomenal job. I think he's earned the job. And so they're not pressed to go win it now, but they are pressed to win. I think they're losing Devontae Adams. He's out of there. And so now you can go young. Aiden O'Connell, we've been talking about Pepsi – Rookie of the Weeks. He's been on our list since he's taken over like every single week. And I think picking at 13, you see who's sitting there. So you say Penix.
I'm saying they go Penix.
That could happen. I'll say that. You think he's going to drop to 13 though?
For sure.
Well, what about Fields?
I don't like Fields in this situation. If I'm Fields, I say no.
Yeah, I say no too.
Okay.
Especially if Devontae leaving. If Devontae
Correct.
stays,
If Devontae stays, different story.
yeah, I can rock with it.
Yes.
Especially with AP as the head coach, like, yeah.
Because it's a lot like Caleb Williams is from USC, how he's thinking through things. Is what Eli Manning and the Mannings did when he was coming out in the draft in 2002, whatever that year was. It was like, yo, I want to be set up for success. I like this coach, but I don't like this organization, right? So if I'm Justin Fields, I'm thinking about like stable, like a stableness and ownership. And
Are
then
you
at the head
that
coaching
young?
position.
What are you thinking about? I'm finna be in Vegas, and I'm finna be young and no state tax. Like
He said no state tax.
No, bro. I
What?
think LeBron in the
Vegas?
decision in
Yeah.
2010 kind of changed how we think and approach. Like a lot of us approaches like business, man, is like sitting down and looking at all of it. Is like, yo, yes, that matters. Lifestyle, city, you know what I mean, family. But then you're also looking at winning, and you're also looking at money in my bag. And so like you're playing a game, and you're trying to figure out like where are the priorities there. Quarterback, they got to think like that now. Like all of us should be thinking that way, but that quarterback position, come on, they know. We seen so many guys come and go because they weren't in the right situation, the right system.
Okay.
So
All right, let's move on.
right now we got the Patriots. We have who?
We got Patriots, Raiders, and now we're moving on to the Giants.
And so the Patriots, we said
I
Jimmy
said
G,
Jimmy G. You said Kurt.
but we're gonna
Okay.
go with Jimmy G. Raiders, we're going with Penix Jr.
All right. I'm not gonna have my list and you have your list. We gotta.
No,
agree.
we're going together.
Y'all
we
are,
gotta agree.
I
y'all
thought- that's what
are
I
a
asked
unit.
you.
Y'all
Yeah,
are
we
one.
asked that from the
You
beginning.
did.
Oh, okay.
You did.
And he said, "Yeah, let's do it."
All right.
All right.
I misunderstood it.
Okay, you on the same page now?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
good.
The Giants.
This is why I say Kirk Cousins go.
I
Vet-
agree. I like
Vet
that.
coming in. You know what you're getting out of Kirk. I think Dayball is gonna love like Kirk, just the way he approaches the game, even kill.
Right.
The Giants fans are used to an even kill Eli, like not too up, not
Yeah.
too down. Like he fits them perfectly.
That's right. And I think he can get everything out of Kurt. And they're in a position now where it's like almost like we want to win right now. Ownership is damn near. They're thirsty. They're thoughts. They're thirsty for a win. Like, come on, right? Even this fan base, like high expectations. And Kurt is a guy that can come in and you put the right pieces around
You got the
him.
number 6 pick. You
That's
can go
right.
get him a weapon if you want to.
That's right. Could Marvin Harrison Jr. be sitting there? That'd be a slide. That might be a slide
LSU
for him.
still
6.
got 2 guys that can be number 1 receiver.
Yeah, they need
So,
they need a playmaker there, and I'll bring Saquon Barkley. So I like that pick, Nikki. I like Kirk Cousins with the
Okay.
Giants. I like that.
Okay, we locking that one in.
We're locking it in.
Now let's go over to the Commanders. Who are you both going with?
It's easy for me, B.
Okay.
I know. Don't do it because you know what. Go
Do
ahead. I
it.
know where he's going.
Do it.
Caleb Williams.
Oh, you're going Caleb Williams.
They got a
here.
number 2 pick in the draft. The Commanders had a number 2 pick in the
Okay.
draft.
I thought you were going to say Russell Wilson.
Nah. They're gonna have a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have a new coordinator. They're gonna want to bring in their quarterback, who they can grow with, right? Who they can start from scratch with. Who's ever there, or even if they give Eric Bieniemy the job, he's like, I want to handpick my guy, Caleb Williams. He's gonna be there because I anticipate the Bears sticking with Justin Fields at the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So I think they go Caleb Williams at number 2.
And potentially sticking with Justin Fields because Caleb came out and said, I don't want to play for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
You know, he's thinking like high level here.
But Caleb fit the NFC East with Dak and Jalen, and like you got Caleb Williams and
I like
DC.
it, but where is he at? He's in L.A., right? Southern Cal. Who else is in Southern Cal? And I'm thinking from a business perspective, like they're trying to set up everything. They even asked for ownership, which is ridiculous.
Nah, he's tripping.
You remember that he asked like, wherever team I go, I want equity, I want
Yeah.
ownership. Like what?
Marijuana legal out there.
Yeah, but so that's how he's
He
thinking. So it's going to take some whining and dining. It's going to take some conversation. So he's in Southern Cal. Who else is in Southern Cal? Magic Johnson. Okay, Magic Johnson is a minority owner for the Washington Commanders. So if they haven't already sat down and broken bread, I can see that happening and him like, yo, let's make this happen. Let's go. Let's turn this organization around. You're going to be a part of us taking the Washington Commanders, maybe even changing their name. You're going to be a part of that process.
Ooh.
Are we going to continue to be the Commanders? How do we get the stadium back to D.C., right? Oh, head coach. So blank canvas.
Yeah, blank canvas.
That's
Who do you
enticing.
want?
Yeah. Nah, he don't got that
like
jug. You ain't giving no rookie that jug. To
I'm
say
saying
what
you
head
want
coach
to.
said,
I'm
man.
saying you might. Look. You
Caleb
know the
gonna
game.
be cool with
Hey,
Magic
let's
Johnson having a
act like
conversation with
let's make him feel
Yeah,
like
make
he
him
got
feel like he got it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Correct.
I
You
feel
feel what I'm saying?
you.
Because that is enticing.
Yes.
You sit down with
right.
that, you're like, what? I gotta say in the
A billionaire that that came from sports. Like, let's go.
Right. And then, he big business. So Magic Johnson like, look, this owner, this dude's worth $15 billion. We got deals all over the place. We gonna make sure you're involved. And you know me, I'm Magic. I got you too, bro. You gonna make more money off the field than you do on the field with us.
Ooh, okay, so you agreeing?
I like that. Yeah.
Okay, we gonna.
I like that.
One.
This is good. I like this.
Hey, I'm
I want to see a carousel.
You guys
Brian,
like
let's
that?
do this. Let's put a carousel together. It's like the I Am Athlete paper route, quarterback.
Picks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
however we word it. There we go.
All right, now the Bears. We got the Bears. Who do you want to see as a QB?
Justin Fields for me. I think it's just like I can see, and even yesterday I talked about this, like I can see the Bears moving on. But there is it's like the Eli Manning thing. If Caleb Williams is the guy, but Caleb Williams already said he don't want to be there, I don't think you force that. I just think you want your guy to be in a quarterback where your quarterback in a city that's embracing him, excited. You don't want to start with the drama. You go out there, you double down on Justin Fields, you go get him a few dogs, and y'all will start next year off the way y'all finish, strong, 5 out of the last 8.
I agree. Justin Fields here. And Chicago is in a great spot, right, having that number 1 pick, because they don't even have to keep saying that they want to keep Justin Fields and he's the guy because the draft coming up, right? They want teams to kind of, or they can say, and that might entice teams to say, yo, we want to trade up. Like, we got to jump the Commanders to get Caleb Williams. Like, it could be the Giants, right? Who's in their division, who want Caleb Williams. So with them being at that number 1 spot, the Giants might say, like, yo, let's switch to number 6. Marvin Harrison Jr. might still be there. We'll give you another this or that, So they're in a great spot. Keep Justin Fields. Show them you love him. Make teams know that, yo, you open a trading out of that number 1 pick.
Now I got 3 more teams on this list. Next, we got the Steelers.
Let's ride. Russell Wilson, Coach Tomlin, I like that. Coach Tomlin, he has a vision in place. He has a brand of football that they've been playing and implementing for 16, 17 years. That's that blitz, that 3-4 zone blitz defense, and they want to have a balanced attack. They want to run the ball and they want to take shots. You think about Big Ben. You talked about Big Ben earlier, B. Think about Russell Wilson when he was at his best. It was they had a great defense and they had Marshawn Lynch. They had a great running game, and he was dynamic, extending plays and creating and getting outside the pocket. He'll be able to do that there. I love that young receiver that they have. I see Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin being a perfect marriage.
I agree.
Look at you guys on the same
That
page.
is the perfect marriage. I just wonder if Mike Tomlin, the Rooney family, would take that quarterback hit. Right? Because you don't know exactly what you're getting with Russ, right? Even with him being benched, like that hurt, like not his draft stock, but just his stock as a player. So I just don't know if the Rooney family is saying, hey, we seen enough in Russ this year. We go pay him that 100 and whatever to come in to see if it's going to work out. I don't think they're in that place right now, but if they did go, I'd like to see Russ.
See, here's the interesting thing about this potential partnership marriage. One, you're right. This will be uncharacteristic of the Steelers, the Rooney family, to go make a move like this. But think about it. We're celebrating Coach Tomlin. Really, it's just like for being like just good but not great, right? Like he's great, right, because of the sustained success. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, we're talking about there's who has more Super Bowls than the Pittsburgh Steelers? Can we look that up? Like they're
I think they're tied with the Patriots. The Patriots and I think the Steelers and Okay. Oh, the Patriots and the Steelers tied.
So
okay.
What is it?
Patriots and Steelers.
Patriots are tied.
With how many Super Bowls? How many championships? Six apiece, right?
Cowboys and 49ers have 5 each.
Cowboys and 49ers have 5 each, right? So, like, that's the standard is Super Bowl. And it's like we haven't been there or we haven't won since, 2006, 2007. I say we because I'm from Pittsburgh, right? And so how long are we going to just embrace just, like, mediocrity and average? 2008, That's when they won it last. That was Jerome Bettis in Detroit. Went home, coming home party. So like I think they have to go make this move. I think some move. They can't just stay the same. They can't. Are we going to win a Super Bowl or not? Or is that the standard or not? They got to make this move.
You had a roster. You had the receivers. You had the running back, Minka on the back end. Maybe they can bring in another corner, but you got TJ getting pressure. Like, they have the roster. That's the only position they missing.
And then also you brought up the money thing. Remember, Russell Wilson's in a position where he can double dip. They cut him. They owe him 40-something million. Huge cap hit to the Denver Broncos.
Cool. You give him your own contract.
You're right, but he can then go to another team. This is the double dipping where he goes to another team. He takes the 45-something, whatever it is, from the Denver Broncos, and then a new team can pay him another 45. Or if Russell Wilson wants to be a nice guy, which I don't think he should be a nice guy, he can go out there and say, I'll play for 20.
Yeah.
I'll play for 25.
Yeah.
So it can work out. It's them sitting down and just figuring out what's the priority.
Now let's head over to Atlanta. The Falcons. Who do you guys want to see over there?
We said Justin Fields in Chicago, but it would be cool to see Justin Fields. You said Atlanta, right?
Yes.
So it would be cool there, but he's off the board. I'm going to lean on Brandon here. Like Brandon Flowers. What you thinking here?
I'm gonna go with a guy who's not on anybody's radar, really, and he just had a hell of a season and outplayed a lot of these guys who we thinking to be franchise quarterbacks.
The suspense. The suspense. Like, what is he about to do? Who's he about to say?
I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels out of LSU.
Oh, interesting.
Nobody's talking about him getting drafted anywhere in the first round. We're talking about Michael Penix, Drake May, who I think is just going to be regular, Caleb Williams, but you don't hear about Jordan Daniels, and his stats was like blowing theirs out of the water. He's a guy that had 2,000-yard receivers at LSU. Like, he spreaded the ball around. He can make plays with his feet. We're just talking about Lamar being in Atlanta and how I said they'll be contenders. You say they'll go to the playoffs, but he can make plays with his feet, right? Jaden Daniels is the guy right here. You don't have to have a sold-up offensive line because he can get out of the pocket. He can make every throw. He got a great tight end in Kyle Pitts as a safety blanket. That's what you input him at.
Interesting. Nikki, are we going to talk about the Broncos, or you didn't want to talk about the Broncos?
Oh, no, I was going to save that for last.
Are you going to say that for last? All right. Thank you for saving that for last. This is interesting. Watch what I do here. This guy could potentially be the next Geno Smith.
Do you want a Geno
They
Smith?
wrote me off, but I didn't write back. No, you bring this guy in for the Broncos, but then you also go in the draft.
So, no, wait. We're not at Atlanta no more. You ain't going to give me your Atlanta one?
I agree with you.
Oh, okay, Jay.
You
I'm right with you.
Yeah, he had no opinion.
Atlanta was a hard one for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
he threw his hands up and said, no, this is all you. He didn't want nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, I knew you're a college guy. I knew you were going to go in the draft. You're stronger than me, right? So you got to learn how to defer.
All
right. Really quickly before let me see something here. Brandon Marshall here. That's what I do whenever I got a whole space. Like Brandon Marshall here, Brandon Flowers,
like
Nikki Blades, Faction Talk Channel 103, Sirius XM. Just bear with me here. Sorry.
Oh, you doing some research?
Yeah, really quickly.
So we're
But go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I saved the Broncos for last. I had a feeling, since you let B Flowers over here just take over on the last one, you know that Brandon is about to come with some crazy story, some weird scenario, and he's doing research right now as we speak. So, Brandon, who do you want over in Denver?
Okay. Who do I want in Denver?
Yeah.
I want Jameis Winston. Okay. Sean Payton brought him from Tampa, a divisional rival. So he saw him year after year after year, twice a year. Brought him in. Jameis was able to not only learn from Peyton, but also Drew Brees. He understands his system. That was an interesting pickup for the Saints, and it was a good one, but then Michael Thomas went down, and they didn't have the pieces around. Alvin Kamara was banged up, et cetera, et cetera. They let go of Ingram offensively when Jameis was ready to take over. I don't think it was the same team. But it was a smart move for Coach Payton because Drew Brees was limited. He couldn't throw the ball past 30 yards. Jameis could make those throws and then some. They were missing out on opportunities because they couldn't get it down the field. Now, the question was, will Jameis Winston clean up his picks and clean up his act there? Because before he got to the Saints, he was 30 for 30. What does that mean? This dude literally had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Can we please double check that, fact check that for me? Jameis Winston's last year in Tampa. That's a big deal, and I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it was close to it. So I say that because, what was it?
33 TDs, 30 interceptions.
33 TDs, 30 interceptions. That's unheard of.
That's insane.
So here's my thing. Like, we don't know what we're getting in a draft. And I don't even know where the Denver Broncos is picking, like what kind of draft capital they have, because they gave up everything to get Russell Wilson. So you got to go get a veteran. So you go get a dude that knows your system. So, boom, you bring in Jameis Winston, and then you go find a younger quarterback in a draft or somewhere that could potentially become the face of the franchise down the road. What do you think? Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Like, we agreed on all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 8 teams on the board, B. We agreed. Nice little partnership here. We going to get to the last team. You going to disagree with me or you going to agree with me?
I mean, his whole posture just changed.
Yeah.
He's definitely about to disagree with you.
You
I'm
think so?
disagreeing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you could tell the moment he
Like-
did this. He said, hold on.
You do recall when Jameis went to New Orleans, like they still throw Taysom Hill in before him, right? Like Sean Payton, like, yo, I brought Jameis in, but he go drive me crazy if I had him for a whole season. So I don't think Sean Payton, after letting Russ go, will bring in Jameis. Like, even at what Jameis did at the end of the season this year, like, he know that's classic Jameis. So that can't be the guy that he go bring in to save his job. Because whoever this next quarterback that come in have to save his job, right? This has to be the guy. So I think they go young. I think they go Drake May, even though I don't think he's going to be that guy. But a lot of experts got him being a top 5
At 13. Pick. So they're picking at 13 in Denver Broncos?
Yeah, like if Drake May can slip to them, they'll get him in a heartbeat. A lot of guys saying Drake May might be the best quarterback in this draft. A lot of them say the Commanders might trade up to the number 1 pick and surprise everybody and don't go Caleb and get Drake May, right? He can make all the throws. I still think he's a guy, but Sean Payton's going to say, he's going to do everything I say. He can make all the throws on the field. Like, I want a guy that I can control. Mm-hmm. I don't want a guy that's going to think he's that, like in a Caleb Williams, where it's like, yo, let me do me. Like, let me do what I did in college. Like, I'm the guy. He want a guy that's going to be happy to be there and respect him as being a great head coach and just do exactly what I say. Make all the throws that I tell you to make. All the checks that I tell you to make in the meeting room, do that.
So we agree. We compliment each other well. So why'd you do all of that? Why
you said Jameis.
Remember what did I say? What did I say? I say you go get a vet and then you go get a younger dude that you can develop and take over. So you go get Jameis. He's the Geno Smith. They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. And then if he's sitting there at 13, potentially for 5-6 games. Like, you don't have to force it.
Okay, I can see that.
Or you know what I'm saying?
I can see that. No, I can see that.
All right, so final answer on this one, guys.
It's both.
So agreed?
Both,
Done?
yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to...
You're going to go get 2 quarterbacks.
Okay, so we're going to have to see that list. Someone's going to have to put this list of 2024 quarterbacks together to see if any of these come true.
We low-key might have a GM job coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. For sure.
We was on point.
But it is time to move on. Brandon, this is
Yo,
you.
rookie!
Yep.
Yo, rookie. Change the back screen. Watch this switch. Oh. Here we go. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Week. This is week 18, so this means this is our final and our last segment on Yo Rookie. We spent all year sitting down with some of the coolest, youngest players in the NFL. Some guys like Bijan Robinson. He made the list damn near every single week. I think it was. Every single week, his name was on this list. C.J. Stroud, outside of when he was in concussion protocol and dealing with a concussion, he was on the list every single week after like week 2, week 3. Puka Nacua, we thought he was a one-hit wonder. We thought he was a flash guy. He came in and he should be Rookie of the Year. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not even going to wait. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we thought he was a one-hit wonder, but he did something that's never been done before. He eclipsed Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson, OBJ as the having the best rookie campaign at the wide receiver position. So this is your rookie. This is our last one. We sat down with some dogs yesterday, 2 guys to be exact. And here are your rookie, Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Week nominees. Aiden O'Connell is a guy that we talked about earlier in our show. C.J. Stroud, we always talk about him. B.J. Robinson. We got Tajay Spears. We got D. Wicks. Yep, I said D. Wicks. And you got Jordan Battle. So Jordan Battle, you still have time to go out there and vote. This is the last one. Cast your vote right there at the Pepsi Zero Sugar landing page. So when you look at some of these guys, really quickly, I'm going to read this. C.J. Stroud had another big one, 264 yards passing and 2 TDs. Aiden O'Connell, 244 yards. Since he's taken over as the guy when they said, okay, we're going to fire Josh McDaniels, we're going to move on from Jimmy G. Like he's been a guy that can't come in as a young dude, as a rookie, and he's been on this list every single week. So that's interesting. The Packers wide receivers, that was a big conversation this year. Like we've had both of their young wide receivers, make this list throughout the year. And so like Jordan Love, who is he going to be able to throw to? And so to see these young guys emerge is special. And they have a big game, playoff game this week. So these are our Pepsi Zero Sugar rookie nominees. Please cast your votes. Do you have any last words or parting thoughts on our rookies?
I do. I'll say C.J. Stroud should be Rookie of the Year. He should win this award. We don't give it to him all the time because he's up here every week. He would have been the most passing. He would have eclipsed the title for most passing yards of a rookie if he wouldn't have got hurt. He missed it by like 270 yards, and he missed like 3 games. So if he'd have just threw for like 80 yards in each of those 3 games, he would have won it. He would have eclipsed the title that you said somebody should break to win it.
This woulda, coulda, shoulda. If was a fifth. Let me stop.
Stroud. My Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud.
All right. Well, look, you jumping the gun here. So Nikki, we've been sitting down with our rookies all year. And shout out to Pepsi and the NFL for giving us this opportunity to really highlight, our rookies and the Rookies of the Week leading up to the Rookie of the Year. To have a young platform in this position and partnering with one of the greatest brands out there and like a Pepsi, that's a big deal. So I appreciate you, NFL, and everybody that was behind this, and also the Pepsi team and our team, the Alleys of the world, Nagin, Bonnie, Andrew, BC, everyone that's just done a phenomenal job of pushing this segment forward. Lindsay booking people and Kelly, so great job there. But before we wrap, and I may come back to this who's going to win Rookie of the Year question, because it's our last one, I have a few questions. Can we do that? Or why don't you tee us up? You want to tee us up or should I tee us up?
No, go ahead. This is all you. You guys been doing it all year. So
first question. Who deserves Rookie of the Week for Week 18, B? Can we throw that list back up there?
Oh, you don't have to throw it up for me.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud. He played at an MVP caliber quarterback game the way he came back, got these boys in the playoffs. The throws he made was insane with pressure in his face. Even if you go off by stats, he won. But if you just go by the eye test, he clearly walked away with it.
I agree. C.J. Stroud had a phenomenal game under pressure and getting his team in the playoffs. This is one of those games where it's like we win, we're in, and they did it. And so that was great. Next up, which rookie is going to be the best weapon? So all the rookies, even the ones that's not even a candidate for this week, which rookie is going to be the best weapon? I'm going to say Bijan Robinson. This is a dude that literally has been on their board and a nominee every single week, and he can do everything. When you look at him out the backfield as a pass catcher, he runs routes like wide receivers. He could be a number 2 wide receiver on some of these NFL teams. His hands are crazy. His moves are insane. And then at the running back position, I don't even know what the comparison is, but the dude's vision, the dude's like power, like he has everything. There's nothing that he don't have in his bag. So Bijan Robinson is going to, when it's all said and done, we look up 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we're going to say out of this class, he was that ultimate weapon.
Nah, I agree. It's going to be Bijan Robinson. I think next year it's going to be stated that he's the best running back in the league. Because of what you said, B. Like, he can catch the ball out the backfield. He get any little seam when he running a rock. Like, he's going to break it. And they stacking the box on him. They don't have a passing game to kind of even keep a defense honest. So when you do bring in a quarterback that can spread the ball around and they have to have a light box, like, nah, he's going to be that.
All right, great. Like, got another one.
Wait, Brandon. Okay. I would let you could do this all day. There's so many questions to ask, but we do have to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up.
All right, one last one. I
said you got to wrap it up. You said no. What you mean?
These are cool questions, but the last one here is like because he's a defensive guy.
Okay, so rapid fire. You got to answer quick.
Last one, I promise.
Answer fast.
Which rookie is going to be the best defender from this class? I say Jordan Battle, young man we had here. Now, he didn't start off the season as a starter, but I'm telling you, Alabama kid, well coached, got his head on straight, and his upside is tremendous.
Man, we're agreeing a lot today. I'll go with Jordan Battle just because of the division he in. He's going to be needed to stop the run like he did this year. He studies tape. You can tell he studies film. He's going to run on the back end. They're going to give him enough room in the defense, schematically wise, to roam and make plays. So I agree with you.
There you have it. Remember to vote for the Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Week. Yo, rookie's been phenomenal all year. Shout out to the Pepsi team. Shout out to the NFL team. Shout out to all of the rookies that joined us. This is Yo Rookie. You go to NFL.com/voting/rookies. This is the last time you can do it. We love you, and we will see you at the NFL Honors. We are campaigning, myself and Brandon Flowers, would love to hand Puka Nacua his
CJ Stroud,
his trophy. Cool. Let's go, Puka. We love you. See y'all later.